You see, anything is going live. Now we're going live and we got a problem. You see, this is what happens when you're going live. I said, guys, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make any mistakes. And boom, things happen. But I'm not complaining. I love my girls in the control room, okay? I want to make that clear just for the record. I can't believe it, I'm back. I was gone for 2 weeks. The station was closed for 2 Fridays. I couldn't wait to come back. Like I said, this is a drug. I need to go live every Friday night. I can't wait. I can't wait to be here every Friday night. I want to say thank you to my sponsors. D'Amico's, the best Italian specialties. Madoni's Brother Bakery. I'm telling you, I'm getting those breadsticks in the Bronx every Friday, no, every Thursday night. Going all the way to the Bronx to get them. They're good. They're very nice people. They're down to earth. Okay, Your Health. I have something going on here. He's gone. And Caterina Lancova and Dolita Fashion. Okay, before we jump into business, we had 3 TV personalities, 3 men, 3 producers, writers, creators with us, okay? I want to introduce him, but I want to talk about what's going on with Angelica Torn and Michael Aronoff. I want to bring that on before I start it, okay? We have here Brian G. Sim.
Yes.
Tony or Anthony.
Tony is fine.
Tony Flynn and Bret Callahan.
Yes, Bret, 1 T.
Bret with 1 T.
You got it.
Did I pronounce it right?
You got it right.
I got it right. Okay, good, good, good. So I'm excited to be here tonight. Before we jump into what you guys do, I want to bring something on. A couple weeks ago, my friend Michael Aronoff, like we mentioned it before, he is an actor, member of the Actors Studio, one of my closest friends, somebody that I really admire and love deeply because he's a great talent. He had a movie going on called Pounds. The movie got nominated for the Spirit Award. I'm really happy. I'm really excited. He deserves it. Okay, so Michael, we love you, okay? And I saw you in The Closer 2 weeks ago with my girl, Kira Sedgwick. You did a hell of a job. You are terrific, okay? Number 1. Number 2, I don't want to forget, Angelica Torn, member of the Actors Studio, exquisite actress. She was the guest. She was here a few months ago. She's in the studio doing Anna Christie. She's going to be when? Charles, next week?
27th.
The 27th. She's going to be doing Anna Christie, so I'm going to see my girl. And number 3 and foremost, let's not forget, right, Charles Casano? We have a play directed by my dear friend Peter Dobbins. He's an amazing stage director, smart guy. He's directing Paul Claudel. Not an easy playwright, but that's besides the point. Titans Brought to Mary. Tomorrow, where, Charles? In the Manhattan Center, right? Hammerstein Ballroom for only 1 night only with my girl Erin, Laura, Peter Dobbins, right? And who else?
Chris Capiniak.
And Chris Capiniak. I didn't get the last name, okay? But please, guys, don't miss it. So we're going to jump into the business. I'm going to put my cards away. I refuse to look my cards. Now, I'm going to be in the moment. This is your moment. So you see what I do?
Down on the floor.
Down on the floor, taking my glasses off because Charles said it makes me older. Is that true? It makes me older?
You look
No?
lovely.
Please,
thank
everyone
you,
wears
because
glasses. I wear them too.
Every day on
Not now,
TV,
but-
all of us, we want to be perfect. I mean, you guys been around for many years on television, managing your TV show every morning, right?
Every morning.
Live.
Live.
2 hours.
2 hours.
Okay, so let's talk about how you guys met, how you came together.
Well, I'll begin. First and foremost, thank you for having us. We're very happy to be here. We've been looking forward to it. I had the pleasure of meeting Tony at a softball game. Our 2 daughters were on the team. And he's very passionate about a character that he created. So he was telling me about the character, and I said, you know, there's something here. This guy's very passionate. I can see he's well-spoken, and he sent me some material, emailed me some information, and he's well-written. So I said, okay, we got something here. So I said, you know what? I think we should build a company around his writing. And I think we should name the company, you know, after the 2 of us, Brian and Tony, Briton Filmworks Limited.
I'm still trying to figure out how he got first, though. No one ever told me that.
Well, it just sounded a little better.
Maybe
Brighton.
Tone Bry wouldn't have sounded good. I don't know.
And I realized very shortly after that he had more characters and more stories. So we developed Judge Nate Waters, which is a series we feel is ready to go right now. We have a very interesting star, Frankie Faison, that's ready to go, you know, as the lead. And we're talking to other people as supporting. We have a series that's very important to Tony, Fallen Heroes in America, about police officers killed in the line of duty, which is very, very special to Tony and his background.
Incredible. I was reading about that too. I want to talk about that too.
Okay, great.
Okay.
We have a comedy
Comedies. I love comedies.
ready to go. Canarsie Carmine Saves Christmas, absolutely hysterical. So what we pride ourselves on at Briton, and what we were thinking about, is well-written scripts and people meeting timelines without wasting money as far as the production is concerned, and build a company.
Right.
So I brought up some things that we were working on with Bret, and Bret picked up on it very quickly. This is what we need to do, et cetera, et cetera. Grabbed the bull by the horns, and I said, okay, this guy has to be a partner, because he's very experienced. He has a ton of TV production experience, and he was an immediate addition, you know, to the company. So I don't want to, you know, carry on too much longer.
No, I want to hear you. This is about you guys.
I want to make sure that we're structured properly, which we are right now, and we have the right people in place. Tony is lead writer. You know, we all get involved in writing. We edit a little bit here and there, but he's our lead writer, and his stories are gonna, you know, launch, you know, Briton Filmworks Limited. A lot of interest right now in our projects, and you know, I'd like to let Tony, you know, take it from here. You know, he's an integral part of creating everything from the heart.
Right.
You know, the series that I'm referring to, and you know, the comedies. So, Mr. Tony Flynn.
Tony?
Thank you so
Floor
much,
is yours.
Sissy, for having us.
Sure.
A couple of years ago when Brian and I first met, you know, he had asked me about what I was doing. He knew that I was a former New York City police detective.
Incredible.
And I told him that after I left the NYPD, I went into entertainment. I currently work as a location manager and location scout for feature film and television.
And
working
with the CBS.
Right, I was with CBS.
48 Hours.
48 Hours Investigates, 48 Hours Mystery, and 48 Hours Hard Evidence. And now I go from feature to feature now as a location manager and location scout. I'm currently working on a feature right now. And so what happened was when Brian and I met, we talked about different things, and basically Brian encouraged my writing. When we created Judge Nate Waters, it was interesting. He made a complete turn. We started it as a family short, a caring grandfather, African-American, named Nate, who shows proper morals, proper ways to raise children, and we looked at it and said, we have to do a little bit more with that. And he became Judge Nate Waters. Judge Nate Waters is a former judge who had recently retired. The character is called back into service by the governor of the state of New York to head an investigative unit on a statewide level. And what happens is he is up to the challenge, but he is hit with a very difficult choice in the beginning, because his first case is a Ponzi scheme, and his brother-in-law may, in fact, be the mastermind of it. And that's what we built the first story about. The second project we have is called Fallen Heroes in America. When a police officer dies in the line of duty, most people in America, unfortunately, see it as a headline in a newspaper or a blurb on the 6 o'clock news. What we do with Fallen Heroes is we bring the sacrifices that these fine young men and women have given to this great nation. And what we do is we recreate the background of the police department as well as the police officer, do a live theatrical recreation of how the officer died in the line of duty. And then we bring it full circle and bring it back into the ramifications of how community was affected, how fellow officers were affected, and what in fact this sacrifice has done to further policing in America as well as the attitudes toward policing. And our first episode that's written right now, we have some fine people looking at it. It's police officer Irma Lozada, who was the first female police officer killed in the line of duty in New York City. She was with the New York City Transit Police.
Okay. Incredible. Now, in terms of like how you put a story together, how you work it from scratch. If I have to ask you, what comes to your mind first, like how you work it? You have an idea, it grabs your mind, say, okay, this is what I want to do. How do you structure your work? How things come to you? I know that maybe it's not a very specific question, but I'm always kind of like, I like to ask about the creative process. I'm interested in the process.
Well, Tony is very detailed.
Yeah, very
He's very
detail-oriented.
detailed, very specific. I'm more big picture, and Bret ties it all together.
For example, if I
With his
see a scene that I
experience.
think should start in the beginning,
Right.
I'm going to tell Tony, we got to move this scene to the beginning,
Right.
move this to the middle, but the details are there. Like when I first read Fallen Heroes, I was like, oh, someone's sending me a script again to read. What is this going to be? And I
Right.
started reading it, and the detail really got me. And what also got me was the Law and Order part of it. I really compared it to Law and Order. I was like, wow, this is really, really good. So I
Right.
couldn't wait to read Judge Nate. And that just flowed like that. I mean, it was like, this has got to be made. I mean, it's just two powerful things that I wanted to get involved with.
Right, but it's like, you know, when you have a great book, like my father
Right.
says, when you have a great writing, where you just want to keep reading.
It's almost
Yes.
like
You
someone
can't
hands
stop
you a
reading.
book and
These
says, you want to
scripts you
read
do
this
wanna
book.
keep reading.
Right.
Right?
You want to read
It
this
grabs
book.
you.
And
Absolutely.
it's almost like someone hands you a book and they say,
Right.
well, read this book. You're like, I really want to read this book. And then you can't put it down. That's
Right.
what these scripts are.
Right, that's
It's exactly
essential.
what they are.
How you grab people's attention right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
And Sissy, what's so important is it's, you know, in the group that we are now as Briton Filmworks Limited, I'm very fortunate that I have two partners, Bret and Brian, who are both also talented writers that are working on their own things.
Right.
But the fact that now that we're focusing on the projects that I've been penning, that they have an understanding of the way I write. And if it's so funny, if I have a problem and I'm going, well, you know, how is this character going to do this? And how's this character going to do that? And I'm stuck. If I call either of these gentlemen up, they tell me exactly, you know, try this direction and see what happens.
Even with Fallen Heroes, we have a whole outline for the whole entire series where we have multiple stories ready to
Segments
go.
lined up, ready to go.
Right, we have 12
Researched.
12 episodes
Wow, that's a
ready to
lot.
go after the one about police officer Lozada. And especially with Bret, when Bret came into the company as a distinguished producer that he is for the
Please.
Channel 11 Morning News.
But you're too humble. Come on, you gotta take
please.
the compliment.
Yeah.
Don't blush
Thank you,
here.
thank you, thank you.
gotta
I
get
appreciate
used
that.
to it.
Thank you, Tony.
You know, it's funny because I can relay it back to working for 48 Hours. And I mean, we were News Magazine, we were taped, you know, we would go probably the following day after we taped an episode. But I saw the stress level with that, just trying to get out that program, and especially if we were doing a breaking news story that had to be on the following night.
Right.
So I give Bret 100% credit if he's you know, coming on live as you are here.
Right.
It's
It's
very,
pressure.
Every
it's
morning.
very tough.
Yes.
Oh, but you do it every morning. I do
Every
it once
morning.
a week. I cannot compete with
Snowstorms,
you.
cop shot, this
Yeah.
and
No,
no,
that.
you're
The
holding your
railroad
own
doesn't
very
work.
I'm
well.
at the
holding
end
my
of the
own.
day.
Well,
Oh,
very
because
well.
I was watching a documentary in Showtime about Sid Caesar last night. It was incredible how I didn't know that he used to have a live show in NBC.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
yes, yes.
And
Every time.
he and Neil Simon and Woody Allen, they were talking, and not Mel Brooks. God, he wasn't the shot too. I love Mel Brooks, but Neil Simon says that in TV you learn how to work under pressure,
Yes.
You do.
and you have to work fast.
It's funny because in my job, you have an 8-hour day. Now my show is only from 4 to 6, the show that I produce. So at 6, I'm kind of done. But my job from 12 to 6 is like an 8-hour job.
Right.
Because there's so much pressure in that little time period.
What kind
So
of
you-
pressure? Let's talk about the kind of pressure that you